So thank you for taking the time to attend my session here at London's Calling. I'm very excited to actually be chosen as one of the speakers. And yeah, today I'll be talking about this framework on how to conquer your data quality blues, and I'll be giving you some tips and tricks on how to deal with that. So before we dive into it, I'll do a short introduction of myself. So I'm Andre. I have been in the Salesforce ecosystem for the past 8 years. And yeah, for the last 16, 17 years, I've been doing stuff in IT. At the moment, I'm a senior consultant at Youngblood. We're an SI partner, implementation partner in the Netherlands. And besides that, I'm also quite active in the Salesforce ecosystem. So organize Amsterdam user group and also Your Dreaming. Now, next slide. So today will be about 25 minutes. Make sure if you have any questions, remarks, put them in the chat. I'll be there to answer them and help you on your way with this whole data quality journey. And I say it's a journey because, the data quality and also information strategy, they're two topics that are often quite overlooked or ignored with everything around Salesforce. So here with these four topics, we'll take you through, I'll take you through this. And yeah, in the end, you should know what to do. So you, as an administrator, you can, maybe people ask you questions, or these are questions you come up with yourself. If you have any of these questions, you should probably need to do something with your data quality or strategy. Do we need a backup strategy? So that's definitely a yes. You need to have it. Salesforce does not back up your data. You're responsible for that. Which tools are available for data management? Of course, you have Salesforce, and you have your people and systems putting in data, modifying it, and taking out data. There's a ton of tools that can help you with that. If your data quality is not up to if it's not good quality, then it will impact your business. Ask any of the managers, or maybe the managers will ask you, give me these reports, like a total overview of certain things like your sales pipeline or customer satisfaction. If they can't give you that, something's probably wrong. Good example is customer calls. They, the calls to support desk, they give you their customer number or ID. You look it up and you find three different records, three different contacts. Now, to try and figure that out while you're on the phone with a customer who needs help, that's not ideal. So you're not going to have the most effective support or call. Of course, there's also stuff like GDPR rules, privacy rules, AVG, or if you're in the medical or finance industries, there's going to be a ton of additional rules that your systems and your data will need to stick to. And assuming you have Salesforce that's integrated with other systems, you're going to have maybe integration with your ERP system, websites, marketing platform, support platform. That's all going to be integrated with Salesforce. And it will have an impact on your data. Now, you're a Salesforce admin or architect or business key user, but you're also a data steward. And that's usually not a full-time job that one person does. But I'll show you these are responsibilities of a data steward or a group of data stewards. So first you identify a focus area. you have data, you have Salesforce, and it's usually a lot. What are you going to do with it? Focus on high priority stuff. Which KPIs for the entire company or department are in place? Which metrics? What do we use to feed those KPIs? Focus on those ones. They're often the most relevant ones. Then have a look. Is my data actually healthy? Is it complete? Can I actually do what I want to do? Do the management reports actually show the right things? If not, there's a gap. Identify the gap and make a plan to fill that gap. Address those issues. While you're doing that, KPIs are going to change. Refine those KPIs and the metrics. All the dashboards and reports that are being used, they're also going to be changed or be outdated, so they need to be updated. Keep that in mind and monitor it as you go. Of course, not every process or business process is as critical as the other process. So yeah, focus on the critical ones first. And also understand which process needs which data. And that's how you identify the right sources and also the owners of the data. Because as data steward, you're not necessarily always the owner. Now, here we talk about the data quality, but of course, data quality is only one part of your information strategy. As a company, no matter how big you are, even if if you just if you're a freelancer, one person in a company, you need to have some sort of strategy, because even if you have high quality data and everything works well, if it's not secure, you might as well just throw it out. How do you access that? How do you use the data? How do you report on it? Also, if you have data that's say 10 years old, do you really need it? You need to archive it maybe, or just get rid of it completely. All of these topics, each block I can talk about for probably a full day per block. Make sure you actually look into each one of these. As your total strategy. Now, this is all nice. There is a strategy, or you need one, but why actually? So what you see happening in companies is there's all different departments, and each department has their own database, their own software, and it's not shared. So the operations department might have a list of their customers and products. Then the sales department has their own customers, potential customers, products they want to sell. They might not actually match with the customers and products from operations. Same accounts for manufacturing or implementation, or your operations departments, which could make day-to-day business for people like your support agents or your sales agents, account managers, other managers, could make that quite difficult. What you want to do is have an enterprise view. So you're still going to have your departments, operations, sales, manufacturing, and you're still going to have some of the databases or tools, applications that have that in there. The operations data doesn't always have to be in the same database as your sales data, but your customers and products, you can't have, say, the master. Just have a look at master data management. You can't have the master of your customers and your products in each system. It can only be one. So let's assume in this case that's Salesforce. Salesforce has all the master data for your customers, and Salesforce then integrates with I don't know, some sales and marketing systems or your ERP system for manufacturing data, and that just links. That makes creating a report like who's this customer, what have they purchased from us, and what are they going to purchase? What are the leads? That makes that report so much easier. Say you're an account manager or support agent, you need to have a complete overview, because as an account manager, you can't try and sell something to a customer if they have 100 or too many cases open that are not being solved. And with the siloed approach, you're just not going to see that. Even when you have high quality data and it's all nice and shiny and perfect, the moment you're done with that, it's going to change. There's quite a few processes that might impact the quality of your data. Manual data entry, which hopefully happens every day. People just updating records in Salesforce or in your database. Data conversions or migrations. So another system somewhere, legacy system gets switched off. Then that's going to be put into Salesforce. If that data doesn't have the same quality, level of quality as your existing data, you need to do something with that. What you see here on the right-hand side, for instance, system upgrades, even with discounts, even for Salesforce. For example, you have a community, and there's with the latest release, the guest user access has been reduced to only read-only. So guest users can't edit or input any data. If that's part of your daily process, you're gonna need to change your processes, because it's not possible anymore. So new use case, different use case, that's all stuff that will impact the quality. Or maybe some automations, processes or flows that might not be working as designed, also has impact. Then so these are all processes that have an impact on the quality. What you can do is to see how big is the problem actually. Use these 4 pillars. You see is this data complete? Is it actually accurate? And also, is it relevant and timely, as in, does the support agent, for instance, have access to the right data at the right time? So using these 4 pillars, your per record or per chunk of data, you can attach a score to that. And based on that score, that's your first step towards the profiling of your data and the scoring, and we'll get to that later. But keep that in mind, these 4 pillars. So now we're actually going to have a look at the framework I talked about. What are we going to do? So now we know there is a problem, we need to do something about it, but how? What you see here is quite an easy framework, 5 steps. There also it's an iterative cycle, based on the PDCA. So you have planning, doing, and checking, and then act. That's what you see here as well, and it just keeps going. In the next slides, I'll dive deeper into each of these these 5 steps. But we'll start with profiling. So you profile you analyze your data, and then you pretty much you just group them based on attributes or fields. So you're gonna have 2 groups: good data, bad data. Then you start cleansing it. everything that doesn't fit your standard profile or the profile of good, you start cleansing it, and there could be anything. Updating records, updating fields, removing them, anything, just cleanse it. Then you start standardizing and normalizing. For instance, what you see here, the address field, this is a standard format for addresses in the US. It's very likely that a lot of the addresses don't actually adhere to this this standard. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Where you can standardize data, do it. Of course, there's going to be duplicates. You might have two perfect records, but if they're the same or almost the same, you're going to have to do something with them. Matching, merging, and by putting those two together, for instance, a customer record or account, you're going to have one golden record instead of two duplicates. And I've been repeating this a few times. Keep monitoring it. So this is just the first slide for the profiling. You will you have to start somewhere. And have a look for all those critical business critical processes. What are my data sources? Where is it coming from? And you see that here on the left hand side. Or your sources could be a database, could be another platform, but also some like it says here, flat files. Maybe there's a spreadsheet somewhere. Make sure to include everything, the shadow administration. Extract them, put it all together, and start profiling. So you have the good and the bad based on these rules. So that's very much the first step. The first step is actually quite important because you then also know how healthy is my data. Well, what's the level of quality? What you start doing then is have a look at all the inconsistencies. So you have the bad data, and often there's a lot of records and they all have the same issue because they're probably from the same integration or the same data migration. So you can pick up all of those in one go, update them, and then suddenly they're part of your good data set. There's a few things you can look for instance, the formatting issues. So you have a date field, and is it actually the right date format? Is it day, month, year, month, day, year, or the other way around? Or are there some records with just other mess in there? Now, have a look at those formats, or called illegal values. Say there's a phone number and has all text in it. Not good, but easy to spot, easy to, usually fairly easy to update. From both the good and the bad data, you're going to then have, after cleansing, a different set, hopefully with more good data and less bad data. Now, for the normalizing, standardizing account name, that's one that I come across quite often. So you have an account name, and it's not always very consistent. So you can have the legal form in there, like the PLC, LTD, corporation, all that kind of stuff. Probably best to just remove it everywhere. If you want to retain it, put it in somewhere else, but then there's like your legal form field. In Salesforce, there's the address field where you can put your country in. There's many different ways. For instance, you can say that someone's your account is in the Netherlands. because it could be NL, could be the Netherlands or Kingdom of the Netherlands or Holland. Now there's all these different versions. If you use the standard country field, peak list field from Salesforce, it's based on ISO codes, and you always have the right one, and you can match that through your whole data set. So then we get to already the fourth step, is duplicates. What are you going to do with duplicates? And also the identifying process, that's, in my experience, the hard part. If you have two duplicates and they're identical, very easy to spot, but that's not going to get you very far, because 9 out of 10 times you're going to have duplicates that are almost the same. So that's when you get here with the probabilistic matching. So you're going to identify a few fields, like for instance, their customer, if your contact record, first name, last name, address, or maybe country, and which account do they belong to. If you have a lot of customers that just keep moving accounts, take out the account part from your matching rules. Because then if you have 100 records with all the same first name, last name, and address, it's most likely going to be the same customer. But then you merge all those 100 records instead of looking for the exact match. So for that, then who's going to win? Who's the survivor of this battle? So you have to set up a set of rules. Probably have to adjust those rules several times to then really get through your whole list of duplicates. And one very, very, very important one. Make sure, for instance, you have an account. It's going to have contacts, probably also some cases, some tasks, some opportunities. Don't forget those, because you can't just merge an account and just pray that the rest is going to be correct. Because that's just not how it works. Keep that in mind. There's a lot of dependent and related data. So then already the last step is, once you've done one cycle, just need make sure to monitor again. You start profiling again, but also in your organization, create awareness. Include other people, like your developers and data management or data governance professionals. Maybe get a temporary external hire for that. Because you're definitely not on your own with this. It's often too complex to do. Include some key business users in there. You pretty much create this tribe, and that's why it says that tribal stewardship. You have your own data tribe. That makes it a lot easier to get to the point where you want to be. Last one, make sure that everything you do here is also going to be part of some data governance processes or policies, because you can keep cleaning up, but if there's still processes in place that mess up your data quality levels, then there's no point doing it. So make sure from the inputs and the processes, it's also covered. So now you sort of know what to do, but not really how. Like where do you start? What can you do today? For instance, there's standard dashboards and reports in Salesforce, but you can also build one like this yourself. And what you see here is, so you have one report for accounts on the left-hand side. And that's the data quality sort of average for all accounts in your entire org. It's based on the industry, the type, for instance, your address details or email details, is it filled, yes or no? And this already gives you good insight, like probably the contact data, the one here in the middle, you can probably leave that a bit last. Let's start with accounts, because the score is not great. And again, this is where the data quality score comes back. Then, of course, you have other tools that can help you. On the App Exchange, there's quite a few tools from vendors like Own Backup, Validity, Capstorm, who are also sponsors of London's Calling. They have quite a few App Exchange apps available for you to use and help really get your data quality up to the level you want it to be. There's implementation partners that can then help you with that, like myself, but it's not my advertisement. There are Trailhead modules on the data quality and duplicate management. Go and have a look at those, because like I said, I only have 25 minutes today, but there's days worth there's days worth of content to help you with the information strategy. If you want more hands-on help, contact one of the user groups or the community. So this URL, trailblazers.salesforce.com. There's groups there that can help you as well. And that was my presentation for today. I hope this has helped you actually gain some insights in what is it actually, why do we need this data quality strategy. And yeah, I hope you start working on on your data quality, and contact me if it has worked or has helped. Thank you.